Greetings, folks, and welcome to another edition of the Unnamed Creonte Media Highlight Show, a name that becomes less of a placeholder and more of just the name, with each week I forget to come up with something to replace it. Lots to get to from last weekend, so let's dive right in, heading first to Sao Paulo for BJJ Stars 15. While there was only one women's bout on the docket for the event, it saw geek-goat Gabrieli Pessanha back in action as she took on Tayane Porfirio. The challenger made Pessanha uncomfortable early, pushing Pessanha around on the feet, leading to a couple of restarts as the grapplers left the mats. Deciding she had enough of that, Pessanha opted to pull after another restart and immediately got to work attacking with her dangerous guard. An omoplata saw Pessanha start a sweep, and while Porfirio initially countered with some leg offense of her own, Pessanha escaped the position and used it to progress onto Porfirio's back. Once there, it was a story BJJ fans have come to know quite well by now, as Pessanha set about establishing the position, securing her collar grip, and attacking the choke. While there was some controversy as Porfirio appeared to contest the stoppage, it was nonetheless consecutive win number 160 for Pessanha. The good news for Porfirio, if she wants to get it back, the two will be back in action in the super heavyweight division, as well as presumably in the open weight division, this weekend at the Brasileiro Championship. Next up, we move to a fun bracket as the Long Island Jiu-Jitsu Network held a 6-woman black and brown belt Grand Prix in the 125-pound division. Leading things off, Kelly Chan and Chelsea Mappa had a fun match where Mappa controlled the action and pushed the offense throughout, but Chan continued to enhance her reputation as one of the toughest outs on the superfight event circuit, with Mappa forced to settle for racking up a win on points to book her spot in the next round. The other quarterfinal bout, Angie Kilhefner's wrestling was the story of the day, with her takedowns allowing her to work from top throughout against Amanda Mazza. While she was forced to fend off some offense from bottom, a standing guillotine attempt of her own led to a takedown from which Kilhefner ultimately moved to mount to lock up an Ezekiel for the tap. The semifinal saw a pair of submissions, starting out with Mappa, who doubled down on her opening victory with a triangle armbar submission of Lauren Brascia to reserve the spot in the finals. Awaiting for her would be Thais Teixeira, who had to work for longer in a tough scrap with Kilhefner, but ultimately isolated his shoulder with a Kimura to get the win. Teixeira produced further submission threat in the final, looking to attack Mappa's legs, but despite having to fight out of the opening round, it was Mappa who'd end the day on top as she lashed onto a head and arm choke in the 8th minute, passed to mount, and forced the tap to capture the LIJJN strap. Staying in the Northeast, TAP Tournament had a pair of women's bouts on its 10th card, starting with a bout between Yasamine Perez and Willow Crawford. A classic battle of guard versus outside passing, Crawford nearly used a rolling Kimura pass from Perez to counter onto the back, but Perez was able to avoid the hooks and reset the position. Once again diving on a pass, Perez had more success on the second go, isolating the limb, transitioning to the armbar, and getting the submission. In the night's other women's batch, Sharon Magira controlled the positioning for much of her bout with Rebecca Ferris, but Ferris proved more than capable opposition with answers of her own, sending the bout to an EBI overtime. Elbows beware as both women latched onto deep armbars in the extra frame, with Magira's fast work in the first round allowing her to time out Ferris's attempt to claim the victory. It was a 2-event weekend for IBJJF, but sadly only one of them with streams. While we don't have footage from IBJJF Boston, here's a look at the champions from a busy card which saw 7 brackets in action in the black belt divisions, including a 7-woman field in adult open weight, which saw lightweight winner Julia Maciel make it a double gold day with a trio of victories. There were fewer matches in Oklahoma City, but there were cameras, so we still got some fun BJJ to enjoy. Top 10 featherweight Victoria Assis was in action and backed up her ranking against Mona Bailey, herself a double gold winner her last time out, with an Assis bow and arrow winning the day. In the event's other adult black belt bracket, Emily Ferreira and Gabby Shuck had a competitive bout with a Kimura sweep from Ferreira, the decisive moment which saw her take and keep the lead for the gold medal. Moving on to the Masters 2 division, Silvana Hertez Flores used a dangerous guard attack to get after Carrie Summers for an armbar victory in the lightweight division. Both were back in action in Open, with Hertez Flores' win earning her the unique IBJJF 3-grappler bracket reward of the disadvantaged 1 seed, as she'd await the loser of a bout between Summers and Melissa Campanella. Summers was aggressive and active in the opening semifinal, but an attempted Kimura from top led to a Campanella sweep for the decisive points. Summers got past Hertez Flores in the second semifinal, earning a rematch, but Campanella once again came out as the slim victor, this time on advantages, to become M2 openweight champion. If a weekend is going to have a one-card Sunday, the least it can do is be one action-packed Sunday, and Kairos Pro Jiu-Jitsu delivered in style. With a unique 10-woman format which saw 2 groups of 5-woman round-robin action culminating in a single championship match, there were 20 group stage matches to enjoy. For extra fun, grapplers only found out if their bout would be gi or no gi with a coin flip just minutes before hitting the mats. While Group A went to seed, with flow-ranked Roselle Sharuni going perfect through her 4 matches with 2 submissions and 2 wins on points, Group B saw an upset, at least on belt ranks, as brown belt Libby Genge topped the quintet. While she dropped points in her opening bout, held to a draw by no-gi black belt major winner Raquel Ferreira, the submissions began to flow from there. First, it was a slick switch armbar against Moti before a mounted guillotine against Haley Valentine moved her to 7 points and the verge of the final. An Americana against Emma Louise Thompson secured her 10th point and a spot in the final. It was more of the same from there, where her top game once again proved devastating with a pass off a guillotine, the first domino that culminated in an event-winning head and arm choke. That wraps up the action for this week, but as we head into the end of video sales pitch, a little treat for your time. Every submission caught on film in all 5 filmed events this weekend. If you enjoyed this, please like, subscribe, and drop a comment to help with the algorithm gods. If you're seeing this clipped on Instagram, the same for there, but also share it. Brasileiros this weekend, so pay attention to this space for a preview of some positively loaded brackets, and keep it tuned to Creonte Media on Instagram all weekend long for the live coverage. Enjoy!